Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about fixed and free end reflection. So when a wave changes mediums, we can imagine the wave has three basic options. It can be transmitted to the new medium. So transmission is when it goes from the old medium into the new medium. It can be reflected back into the original medium, and some of it may be absorbed at the barrier and transferred into other forms. In order to set up a standing wave, which is where this discussion is leading, we need to consider what happens to the wave that is reflected from the barrier. So we're interested in the reflection in this case. In terms of reflection, we have two basic options. Fixed end reflection occurs when the second medium has a slower speed of sound than the first medium. The reflected wave is, as a result, inverted. To visualize this, we should imagine a string that is tied to a wall. If we put a pulse into that string and it's headed towards the wall, then when the pulse arrives at the wall won't allow the pulse to move. What that means then is for the reflected wave, the incoming wave and the outgoing wave must cancel to create a nodal point. Since the piece of string can't move up or can't move down, the initial wave and the reflected wave must work against each other to allow that point to stay fixed in space. The result is that upon reflection, the pulse is inverted. Alternatively, in a free end reflection, we can imagine a string that is free to move up and down as it wants to. In this case, when a pulse goes towards the free end is free to move up and down with the pulse. What that means then is that the end of the string can come up with the pulse, and it does not need to be inverted. It does not need to cancel out like it did at the nodal point when it was attached to the wall. This means that upon reflection, the pulse does not need to be inverted and can come back out. So in fixed end reflection, we get an inverted pulse, and in free end reflection, the wave is not inverted but comes back in the same type of disturbance in the medium, either a crest or a trough, as it went in with. This is going to be important when trying to understand the geometries required to create standing waves on strings that are fixed on either end or on air columns, which could have open ends or closed ends.